And we are live coming to you from the dirty South, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. How's everyone doing this evening or whenever you watch the rebroadcast of this? I just wanted to say hi and think some people might come on. I didn't have anybody scheduled for today, but we'll see. Uh, Crazy weekend. I've been working a lot and always making time for the hobby and life itself. Getting now to 3 weeks to the national. Uh, Starting to really think about, I think I picked up my last stuff that I'm taking because I'm actually driving. What's up, Yannick? How you doing, my brother? Uh, and I've been wearing my Expos hat a lot here lately. That reminds me. And so I just wanted, I've been trying to talk about different things as we get to it. And last week we had Hobby Palooza with some great, hey, what's happening, Garrett? Yeah, next week, your card cutter Gary is going to be on. Can't wait. First time on the show. We'll be talking about specific things for him and see if it'll help me out for what I'm looking for. So things that I like to look for in person, especially in my Gary Carter collection. So I can't wait to bend your brain a little bit next week. And let's see, I just wanted to touch on a couple of things. I appreciate all the feedback from yesterday. It did what I wanted to do. Start a discussion in the community. I think it did that. I think most people were positive talking to me. Got great feedback, and also, nobody was. What's up, Orlando? I'm glad you're here. And it was what's up, Joe? Joe, our sixth member of the group. And that's all I wanted to do. By any means, I hope a couple of things I want to clear up. I was not offended by the anything. I was just a little taken back. Again, just trying to, see, and I understood what the basis was, and believe it or not, I agree. For me personally, but my opinion doesn't work for everyone else, and I don't. And when you put an opinion out, other people will all have opinions. That's all I was trying to get across. And like I said, I have love for Orlando. Definitely, I don't know Mike at all. I just heard about him a few weeks ago. That was the first time I've ever seen him. But I still have a love for everyone in this community. I have love for everyone in the world. That's just the type of guy I am. Just a big, lovable, huggable guy. That's all I am. I didn't want to make waves. I just wanted, y'all know I speak my voice. What's up, Hodges? And I love the fact that people spoke up for Mike and talked about how good he is as a guy when you meet him. And I thought that was very good and speaks well on Mike. So, I really was not a personal hit on anybody. With that being said, I just want to get that out of the way and get on with it. So this week, not really much going on in a hobby. After, last weekend, pretty quiet week. It's summertime. We just settling down. I think most of the big companies are getting ready for the national. And I think the big news is like 2 or 3 weeks. What's up, Vogs? I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, to me, Me and Mike talked quite a bit about that last week after the show went off. That was, to me, I don't know if anybody's planning on going. I don't know if anybody's looked at ticket prices, but they spoke about they wanted it to be a higher end show. And the first thing I noticed when I was looking up the autographers that were going to be there, all of them were in suit and tie in the pictures. I was like, huh. And then I started looking at ticket prices. I think like VIP for the week is like $500 for 3 days. No Clay, they lost. It was tied 4-4 going into the bottom of the ninth, and the bottom fell out. They were trying to rush the game to get it in, and it went to extra innings, and they lost 10-5, 11-5, and 11. So yeah, I turned it off because I knew it wasn't going to be a short rain delay. It was pouring. The guys that worked the field were itching to get the tarp on. They were all sitting there waiting for that last out in the top of the ninth, because they already were talking about the forecast. So they knew it was coming. They were trying to get it in, and it just, once it went like that, I kind of knew the Mets bullpen right now is weak. They gave up a killer lead yesterday, and then today they actually, I got to give the Mets credit. They were down 4-0 and came back to tie it up. So I felt really good about that. If you could feel good about a loss, but that put them now a game under 500. And now Astros are game over 500. So all you Astros haters, watch out. Here they come, as my dad would say. But back to the Fanatics. And it says it's 350 tables of vendors, and it's in Manhattan. I don't know. I'm not going. I can't afford the ticket price. I think it's $50 a day to get in. And I don't know, when I was looking at the names, I don't know if it's actual like all card vendors or people in the industry having tables. It was a little, I don't know, a little weird. I know they're having one in Florida later this year or early next year, and I might look at that, for a one time. But man, I don't know. It's when you look up Fanatics Card Show, they have a website for it. When I looked at that last week, it was just crazy to me. And I don't know how that. Thank you, Orlando. Yeah, I thought it was I couldn't remember if it was late this year or early next year. Thanks. I'm watching the race from Nashville. Oh, okay. Yeah, right now I'm watching the Baltimore game. They're losing right now 4-1 at Texas. So they haven't been doing too well here. This is my first Baltimore game getting to watch this year. 500 dealer tables. Okay, that's interesting. Because the website says 350. I forget what the wordage, because I saw it did not say dealer. It said something else. And I think it just said vendor, I think. So that's what threw me off on that, because I was like, they're going to have corporate presence. It's in Manhattan. Derek Jeter was the first guy on the page. Peyton Manning. They're not signing autograph, or Tom Brady. Peyton Manning is, and Eli. But Peyton Manning, Brady and Jeter are there for a panel. And I don't know if they're signing or not, because I know they're like exclusives. In Florida, 500. Yeah, that's something to look at maybe. And I just know it's expensive. And I know Orlando, don't get me wrong, the city, not you personally. But isn't it kind of expensive in the colder months? Ain't that when a lot of people travel down here? What's up, Peacemaker Cards? I like the picture, Johnny Bench. Yeah, I just thought I'd bring that up early. I was hoping Mike would be on, but I know he's had some family in town for graduations. We got a fellow Mets fan here now. You ready, Dave? You're coming on. What's up, Dave?
What's up? Oh, what's going on?
Not much. Another beautiful day at the at the salt mines today, as my pa was saying. How's your world going, man?
Well, I did a bunch of day drinking today, and now I'm on with you, so
Yeah.
it's a pretty good day.
There you go. You're prepping for the national, I see.
Yeah, I got to get in shape.
That's right. Yeah,
I
gotta
get
get
that
those
drinking
curls
shape going.
Yeah, yeah. And this is interesting because you're kind of like me. You watch what your spending is. You have a family and everything. So do you kind of calm down right now? When do you start looking at the national and start thinking about your money expenses?
Man, so it's a kind of a year process for me. Reality.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so I have like a little thing in my bedroom. I'm not
Hmm.
gonna call it a piggy bank, but like it's actually like an old school like wipes, like baby
Uh-huh.
wipes container. My wife glued a bunch of cards on,
All right.
and it says the national on it. Um, so I just start putting cash in there
Okay.
whenever throughout the year, and then if I
Right.
get money for Christmas, I put it in there. I get money for my birthday, I put it in there, and then sometime around probably about March or so, I kind of count that money and then see what I need to be doing to get to August.
Exactly.
But
I,
I have a number in my head of what I need, and depending on
right.
how many days I'm going. So like this year is going to be a little off because that I was only supposed to go Wednesday, Thursday, and then I added Friday later, so it didn't really. I was like, well, I'm not going to spend that much money in 2 days, so I didn't prepare very well. But just every month I get a. So I also get for work, I get a gas check for $500 for
Right.
me driving around. I also put my gas on the company card. So like I'm spending the gas just kind of for
Right.
car maintenance and me using the car. So I'll probably just this year I'm just going to take that when I get in July, which will be in sometime in a week or two. I'll get it, and then I'll put that towards what I got, and then that's what I'm going to go with.
Yeah, I kind of do the same thing, but it's just it's in my savings account. I have a savings account that
Yeah.
each a little bit of every check I make goes into that, and kind of looking forward because I know you sell a little bit, I sell, but most of my stuff I sell, and it's in an account that I flip right back. It's sports lots. So
Yeah.
sport lots, you put it right back in, and I buy stuff for my PC.
So
Uh, that's how I got my like 50s and or I mean our 60s cards, some of the 70s, there's high you get to that short print stuff, where you don't want to spend a lot of money, so you spend that money. That's what I did. So
yeah,
what's up, Bing?
and
Evening, gentlemen.
I try not to buy
Thank you, sir.
anything big, and I'm talking about big. Like I don't buy a lot of big cards throughout the year anyway, but I'm
Right.
looking at more. I start looking at like $5 to $10 cards and try to stay away from like the 30 to 50 range
Mm-hmm.
throughout this like April, May, June. Even though I did
Right.
spend more this year than normal, but I try to kind of stay away from that stuff. Just kind of maybe get into like the rookie cards, and I'll still get cards in every week, but it'd be like $1 or $2 or $3,
Right.
kind of lower end stuff, and then
Right.
that way I know that when I go to pay my bills in July, because my wife gets all my money pretty much. Like I keep like $200 a week or $200 every 2 weeks, $100 a week. I keep for myself, and then I keep my gas money, and then sometimes my bonus money I'll keep 25% of that.
Okay.
And so that's kind of how I stuff. And I got to pay for the car insurance too, which that kind of goes on my credit card. I got to pay that off. So it's kind of just how I go. So I kind of watch what I'm spending on what kind of cards I'm buying
Right.
right at this time.
So this week, I'm glad you're on because me and you have made friends through the national. We talk a lot, and uh, all my our chats almost every day in the
Yeah.
group. And we talk more about than just sports and stuff. What's up, Reese? So the friendships, that come through this, you you can like start building that foundation through your channel or chat, or I got plenty of all these guys in the chat I'd love to meet. Orlando, I know I'm going to talk to him. Reese, I'm going to make it to a Philly show to see him. I can't wait to meet Gary. These guys, I feel like I know because we talk every week. But man, when you go to a show like this, when I started talking to you, even though we haven't talked a lot on the thing, we just kind of, me and you are similar in how we collect and how our lives are. It just kind of fell into place. But I mean, and y'all got to, I feel, how long have you been on YouTube, Dave?
So August will be 11 years.
11 years. So
no, I think I was at 10 years last August.
Yeah, I saw that, Reese.
Yeah, so I was gonna do some kind of 10-year anniversary video at National last year, and then our apartment was a little bit too small for me to do what I planned on doing. So but yeah, I'm at 11 years, like August 13th or something like that.
Yeah, Orlando, this is a perfect. That's why I've said for weeks and months, and even during COVID, somehow flipping became a bad term. I never understood why it did. We all need flippers to get the cards out in the community. I don't have the
I'll
problem.
Real quick.
What's that?
So you're talking like the flippers, like why it's a bad word?
Yeah, well, see, so Orlando put on here, I need to sell in order to buy. And I heard him say that on his video, and that makes complete sense. Yeah. Orlando, I'm not retired, and I feel like, I got to plan out every check that comes in. Yeah, go ahead. So go ahead, Dave.
Yeah. So quick on that, like, so I have to sell some stuff too. Like I'm selling, we talked about earlier about what we do for the National. Like I do ramp up my eBay now. A lot of that's just to pay. Like I get my money coming in, I get a little more eBay money coming in. I pay my bills. What's left over, I'm taking to the National. Yep. So I have to ramp up my selling, but I got to buy stuff just to flip it. I think where the bad term comes in, at least on a YouTube's perspective, like I said, I've been here 11 years. We're just talking about it's YouTube there was no flippers, and with the chat we've had over the last week and whatever the drama is, like there was no flippers on YouTube back in the day. It was all collectors, and it didn't matter what you collected. Everybody collected a whole bunch of different shit, right? But all of a sudden, over the last, since like COVID, you get everybody talking about the value of the money, and you got to see the flippers, and you got the guys that are running the cards, like Card Collector 2, right? Popular, super popular, right? I like what he does. I think he was actually a YouTuber that started off as a collector on YouTube and then got into that side of the business. No problems with that. But
I think he was one of the first guys to really launch into Instagram and cross over into YouTube. He was one of the young guys on Instagram that got it started, then now he blew up on YouTube.
Yeah. But I think what happens now on YouTube is that everybody's talking about the value and then flipping, they're watching Sports Card Investor. And I think that's where the term like flipper now becomes a negative term because it's too popular on YouTube.
Right.
And the collectors don't like it because it's not what we're about. Like,
and the collectors like Orlando that's resell, or I resell, or you resell, let's face it, it's flipping. I got a card out of a pack. Yeah. I'm reselling it to flip it to get something else that I want.
Yeah.
It's just.
So I'll show. Hold on. So, like, this is something like I would do. Like, where the hell's the card at? So I got so much crap.
And that's the point I was going to get with Dave is like through Dave, I have met a lot of these guys that are 10 plus years, guys that don't even make videos anymore, that when I go to this National, we'll talk to. And I just love sitting there listening to the stories, man. And I'm a historian at heart. I love listening. I'll just sit there quiet for once. I'll sit there quiet.
But,
So, but yeah, the flipping
yeah, so
term. I could tell. I know, but I don't mind listening to value. I don't. Everybody, again, we've talked about this to nauseum. Everybody wants their collection to be worth something, right? Even if it's worth something to yourself, but that can mean many different things to many people. Um, I buy stuff. I know a lot of my stuff is not worth very much, but they're not going anywhere anyway. And if it goes somewhere after I'm dead, I don't care. I'm gone. I stated this yesterday. My collection is for me. Um, so I sell the stuff to get for me, and I think Orlando and everybody else. And it's a nice gesture. Yes, I want whoever gets it to have something get out of it. But you know, maybe I'm a little bit more. I'm too cynical when it comes to that. Uh, but yeah, that's a great point, Dave, and thanks for elaborating because this is my 6th year, I think, on YouTube, and I was lucky enough to start before COVID, well before COVID. So I've seen the change. I've been watching Brad and Mike and this guy coming on and got to see you. And I've been watching y'all forever and then got to hang out with y'all. So, yeah.
and
And
that's
that's exactly right, Orlando. I understand that. Yep.
So let's go back to Garrett's comment here about the old feed because he's old school like me. I mean, I think he was on before me.
Let's say hi. Welcome, Mr. Wesker Gruff, real quick. Hi, Ed.
Hey, Dave. Hey, Scott. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Purple GT, what's up, brother? Long time to hear from. I hope you're doing okay. What's up?
Yeah, so what Card Cutter said, Garrett, so the feed, back in the day, it would be mail days, it would be care packages, and that's it. Everybody just showing off what they're collecting. Every once in a while you show a showcase video, or they'll be having a lot of video responses for a sub contest or sub giveaway. But most of the time it was just, hey, I got this package from this guy. This guy hooked me up. My wife used to get so mad at me because she's like, this is some BS. All you do is I get bills in the mail and you get packages of cards from other people because I just get 3 mail days a week. Sometimes with some of the guys, it would be a battle to see who can blow each other up even harder. It'd be nuts.
Right. Yeah, I've heard about that.
Brad, 1 year, I think yeah. Go ahead.
I think Brad still has that he still has some of that feeling from the old days.
Dude, I owe Brad 4 packages.
I do too.
It's nuts what I owe Brad. Dude, me and Mike Fabian, he's sports cards, man. He used to, man, I think me and him, he'd send me some stuff and I'm like, oh yeah, well check this out. And then he'd send me something more. And I'm like, damn it. I think 1 year I spent more money on cards for other people than I did myself. Because I'm like, I'm on eBay. I'm like, this guy would love this. Let me send it to him. I'm going to buy this for him. It was crazy. It was awesome. It was an awesome time.
Yeah. In Orlando, I got to say, when you show a card, you have a great story to go with it. I didn't get that across yesterday, and I should have. You talked about some of the Cuban players and stuff like that. And for me, I like that because it's a learning tool. And again, that wouldn't be something that's in my collection, but it's interesting for me to look at and watch. I just wouldn't purchase that way. Ed, we're just talking about, we started down one road and that road got us to this road, which is awesome. We got Henry that says he's a noob. So.
I was loving the conversation. Whenever we can reminisce about the old school YouTube,
right?
The bygone generation of collectors, from 10 years ago, that is just right up my alley because.
Well, I know when we get last year was awesome. I just sat there and listened to y'all and I was just listening. I mean, y'all were looking up old videos, and we were pulling them up on the TV.
We were watching Tommy Golf videos.
Yeah, and I didn't know who that was, and y'all, hey, what's up, Hitman?
So I'll do this real quick. So, because Garrett's in the chat, and so is Brad. So we were watching a Tommy Golf video. I want to see if they can guess which one we were watching, and I guarantee they'll pull up this. They'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and you get Fabian in with you guys, and it's like opening up a history book of YouTube sports collecting. The Shinger,
Yep.
Shingling my dingaling.
Yep, that was the video. Yep, that was the video. Yeah, dude, just sitting in our Airbnb, just cracking up, watching freaking Tommy Golf.
Yeah.
And that's what old school was about. It was awesome.
Yeah, we opened up some Chrome and cried a little and talk to each other with that.
And Dave will know this as well as guys in the chat like Garrett, Steve, Brad. That was why you went to the National. You went to the National to meet everyone in the community. It wasn't to go to the card show. It wasn't for the cards. It was to meet everyone in the community. It was kind of like this family reunion almost.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, like the first year I met Ed, we were talking about this. Like I introduced himself. I'm like, hey, I'm Dave, and they're like, yeah, that's Ed. I'm like, who? They're like, that's Wesker Griff. I'm like, oh, and I didn't even know I was sitting there. I'd never seen his face before.
Right. When I watched videos before the Cleveland show when the reveal happened, and I didn't put two and two together because I assumed he was on before. I haven't seen the beginning of Ed's channel, so I had no idea he just only showed his wall and his beautiful manicured hands. It's not as nice as Enough Said cards, but you're right there. But because when I finally met him last year, I go, I can't tell by a face, but those hands I can notice anywhere.
Yeah, no, like Ed, like the first time he was ever on camera was on a Mike O video at the National,
right,
in Atlantic City,
in 2016.
Yeah, I mean, I have that video saved like on my watch later. It just stays there forever. And I think Ed's on there. He's like, yeah, first time in front of the camera on video. It's like,
right.
Awesome.
Oh, hold on. The friendship is getting bigger and bigger. What's happening, Mike? I'm glad. Hope you didn't have to kick the kids away. And
I can't promise I won't be distracted at some point. But
okay.
Hobby.
Awesome.
Listen, so the Hobby is welcome from Philadelphia, as you heard on John Stars last week. Philadelphia helped provide trading cards to everyone, and community, you're welcome, because you may never have seen Wesker Griff's face if it weren't for me at the Atlantic City National. Ed might have still been hiding.
That's right. It wasn't Atlantic. It was Cleveland when you showed him.
First time was AC, baby.
Oh, was it AC? Okay.
Yeah, I'll share.
I stand corrected.
I'll send you the link in our group chat of that video. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
But no, yeah, the first time we went to National, I went there it was to meet everybody. I mean, I remember watching. I got on YouTube, and I got on YouTube right after Baltimore.
You come up to me, Henry.
Yeah, so right after Baltimore National, and I watched all the videos, everybody having a good time hanging out. And I was like, man, I got to go to one of those. And then next year, when Fabian was going, he said, hey, why don't you room with me? So I had to convince my wife to let me go. And, kind of that was that. I've been there ever since, except for 1 year.
You're not missing much, Henry. Four Leaf is a heck of a guy, but just think of me with a green shirt on. First time I saw his face was on Tube Traders card.
This is actually factually correct. That was the first time it was
Is
on.
that the one with like the 4 in front and back? We all signed it.
That was the King of Steak, who is a perennial YouTube legend. And that was Gary. Gary was his name. He used to make these custom cards called Tube Traders. And he did, I think, 4 series of Tube Traders. And I got on the final tail end of it, Series 4. and that was how. And when they did the cards, like you would send them stuff and they would put your picture on it. So that's how a lot of people were like, "Oh, well, this is what Mr. Ed looks like."
So, how old were you then? About 22 or?
Let's see. This was, I think, 2011 or 12. So I would have been in my early 20s.
Yeah. Okay. Did you get the relic card, Ed? That's what it was.
Yes, I did. That was another really cool community thing about Tube Traders. Whenever someone would pull the card, if someone else pulled it, they would just send it to you, no questions asked.
Purple said it was 213.
Not today. If I pulled that card, Ed, I would hold out for every penny you had.
Yeah, I'm about to put some Micah autographs on the eBay
fact,
for the
I
national.
think
I got several behind me.
Steve pulled my card.
Hey, Orlando, if you're still here, I put this up for you. I don't know if you see it right there, but I knew you'd come on. So I wanted to put my BG lunchbox that I had as a kid. It's got Staying Alive on it. Yeah, so that's what I want to talk about was this friendship. Listen to this camaraderie. I think we have the same thing, but it's so big now. Now we're broken. It might have even been then, click.
And we all get along in this little video right now. You got a couple Mets fans who, lost their ways at an early age, and then you got a couple Phillies fans. So we seem to connect.
Yeah, my Mets have lost terribly. We need another outing of the Grimace to come out. Look at that. Oh, we got Sanderson to Orr. So if everybody hits the like button, that's who's paying for it tonight. Thank you, Carlos, for having Sanderson at to Orr, which is Eric. Come on to grace us. It can be if you want it to be. Right now, we haven't really talked much about baseball card or any cards. We're just talking about friendships and hobby building, and the ultimate building block is going to these shows. The National being the center stage as of right now. I started the show, Mike, before you got on with us talking about Fanatics after we got off the air last week and coming up. Are you planning on trying to go to that Fanatics show?
I mean, I haven't really given it serious thought, but it is one of those things. It's kind of close enough that I could probably do it.
Right.
Last month. I mean, I don't know the exact location, but I feel like I could take a train from Trenton, New Jersey, right into Manhattan and probably walk to it if I wanted to.
Yeah, this is Garrett makes great. Dave, Mike, Ed, maybe it's just me, but I feel there's more clicks these days. I think because the Y2 community has got so big thoughts.
Yeah,
I can tell
it's infinitely larger than it used to be.
Yeah.
Well, so our first, my first national, I think we hung out at the DoubleTree, and there was 10, maybe 12 people there from YouTube hanging out, and then we went to AC, and then there was roughly about the same, and then Cleveland. All of a sudden, there was I don't know how many we think we had Cleveland. 25 of us at the bar that one night. We did the live stream
easily, yeah.
And then the next time in Chicago, it was 50 to 100 YouTubers there, and now there's a guaranteed 100 people there. So
it was more than 100.
I was going to say it was a couple hundred last year, I think.
Yeah. So there's not the National has grown for that kind of whatever the word. There's more people going out to the National because it's been out in the forefront. People are talking about it all the time, and people have gone every year. So it now became the biggest thing for all the tubers to do that are in the community, right? Which is great.
Yeah. And that's what back in the day, there are some older YouTube videos of people walking the show and stuff, and I can't claim everything, having the perfect knowledge, but I feel like, at least as far as I know, 2014, I remember you and Mike doing it. That's when it kind of started, and then 2015 did a little more. Like I actually used to use a nice camera back there, and then instead of a phone. But the more you did those collaboration videos, it just brought extra intrigue, being like, whoa, that's fun. Like you're seeing multiple people. It's not just recaps of one.
Man, I remember when you brought a drone to the 2016 National.
I did.
Did you take it inside of the building?
No. I went down to the beach and I flew it up and just got one aerial shot, and you can see it in one of my videos, I think.
No, I do think like Cleveland, and with that big get together we had at Cleveland at the bar, going live on YouTube.
The 4-hour live stream definitely was probably pretty impactful.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's why everybody goes to national now. I'm going to say we're the ones who did it. That's why it's so popular.
That's right.
I don't know about just that. There's momentum, but I do think that probably plays. Those types of things play a role. Obviously,
I think that's what kicked off the YouTube get-together nights.
Obviously, definitely. Obviously, the card hobby though, it's been growing for a while. I mean, you could feel it in 2016, really 2017. I remember hitting a new level with like the Aaron Judge, Cody Bell, and this is one of the reasons why I know I don't want to get into all the controversy, but modern baseball is absolutely important. It's played a role in helping some of the old stuff, right? Because you need that continued interest. You need younger people, and by younger people, it doesn't just mean 15-year-olds. It might mean 30 and 40-year-olds were getting it. But the hype around Cody Bellinger and Aaron Judge in 2017, like that brought in people. And then 2018, Acuna, Ohtani, Soto, that was another. Obviously, it wasn't the level it is now, but there was a noticeable uptick.
Well,
obviously, the pandemic blew up a lot.
Right.
But so my point is, obviously, the hobby's been growing, and it's grown enough to catch the attention of the big businesses and social media, and it became part of pop culture to a degree, not even as big as the 80s and 90s, because it's just more shit for people to be involved in. But like all that helped grow the hobby to a degree. So of course, Instagram and all these social media things, there's all kinds of people at the National, but it really did with social media, in my opinion, largely started with the YouTube stuff. And that's why doing a hangout video, a live stream where people are bouncing in and out, did it get 1 million views? Of course not. But it got enough attention, enough views that people are talking about it and people are looking at it. And then other people are getting the idea to start going live or do collaborations, and that's spiking. And then, as you see, the YouTube community hanging out blows up. And I think that's a good thing for people overall.
Right. And I mean, let's just touch on that. You're talking about today's greats or today's future greats, maybe. But what's the first thing everybody wants to do is compare them to the past greats. So that's how today connects you to the past.
Yeah.
You want to see who these people are, especially if you're young. And I mean, I know y'all are like me. I know I read the back of cards. I read what I could. I didn't have the internet. I don't know. Ed might have had it when he was a kid. I don't know. But
man, I remember going to the Franklin Institute in Philadelphia thinking it was the most amazing thing ever. Like, whoa, you can look up statistics on baseball players. Like, it used to be you got to look in the freaking newspaper on Sundays to see the current stats, and then your old baseball cards to see the old stats. Now we're spoiled. You can click at it on your phone in 2 seconds, read any player ever's game logs.
Yeah, and I mean, I totally agree. That year of Judge and Bellinger really did start something new. And then right behind that was the Jason Dominguez and the Bowman is what I remember. Bowman exploding and the whole.
And not everyone's going to turn out, right? Cody Bellinger is a good player. He's won an MVP. He's had ups and downs. I mean, he's been the NLCS MVP and helped the Dodgers reach a World Series. But it's pretty unlikely at his current trajectory he's going to be a Hall of Famer. Again, he's made enough of an impact that there's going to be Dodgers and Cubs fans 20, 30 years from now who want to collect Cody Bellinger, but he'll be a lower price. Aaron Judge, on the other hand, there's a long list of Yankees legends, but he is going to be the Yankee for a lot of people. We'll see if he ends up winning a World Series and stuff. Again, it's hard to compare eras. It's going to be harder for Aaron Judge to win a World Series, let alone multiples, than it was for Mickey Mantle or some of those greats. Not because necessarily those guys are better. Obviously, they're all-time greats. But baseball was different then. You build up a great team, guess what? You were going to win for a while if your guys were young enough. That's just not the way baseball's constructed anymore. But Aaron Judge, obviously still huge in the hobby, and the guy is just an absolute monster. And if you're not watching this guy hit home runs, you are missing out.
Today.
He's an absolute beast.
And just why, like Aaron Judge, like he had that rookie year, came out, Cards went nuts, and then he kind of got hurt, and the Cards tanked, and then they went right back up. So it's just like any of these guys, you just don't know what to end up doing. But it's still,
but I think he's now had enough monster seasons that I feel pretty good that he is, based on his age, how long he signed. I think he, unless there's a catastrophic injury, I think he is going to probably, and I had doubts about him for a while because he's so big and I was worried about the Ryan Howard effect. But I feel pretty good about him reaching 500 home runs. Listen, he's going to end up with like 1,800 hits. He's not, but a Yankee, the big home run seasons, I kind of project him as a future Hall of Famer personally. Again, still early. You don't know what's going to happen, but I think he has a great shot.
So do you think he's got 30 today? What's the chance of him breaking Bonds' record?
Pretty unlikely. That year was pretty crazy.
Yeah, Bonds got a chance to play teams that won in the race, and it just seems like everybody's in their hunt this year. So he's going to get pitched later in the season. He's not going to see a lot of pitches.
Yeah, and Bonds is a different beast, too. Like, you don't pitch. They didn't pitch the Bonds because you couldn't. You threw it across the plate, it was gone. And Bonds, I don't think Judge can. It's possible. I don't know if he'll come close to that 70-something home runs.
Right. Well, today he had 31. Excuse me. You must have hit 2 today, right?
He's just. I mean, they're probably. Are they
right on, Eric?
Are they straight? Are they straight up 81
You might
games?
want to say that, but there's a book with his name in it.
How many games have the Yankees played? I know the Phillies hit their 81st a few days ago, but they at one point were kind of ahead of some teams. But then with the London series, it might be more even now.
Yeah, I think because I know I think you're about even because
I'm just saying the Yankees are probably about 82 to 85.
Yeah, I mean they're all right past the halfway mark. I mean, yeah, I mean that's. You made it when they'll walk you with bases. I thought the Mets should have done it in their 2-game series, and he hit a grand slam against them. I was like, Maury says it's 86, 87 games for the Yankees.
Okay, so it's a little bit past that pace, but he's still on pace for high, like 58, 59 homers.
Yeah, I think he could hit 50 home runs every year for the next 10 years.
Yeah, as long as he sees pitches and they got somebody to protect him in the lineup. I mean,
my point is he's an awesome player. You have the pleasure of being able to watch him. And it's never been easier in human history to watch baseball. You don't have to go sit in the sweltering heat in a top hat and, a tux in a 98-degree day. Like
unless you want to.
You can sit on your toilet and watch it on your phone if you want to. Like, there's so many ways to watch baseball now. It's actually, I understand everyone's busy. Everyone's got a bunch of stuff to do. They're subscribed to Netflix and, they're going through it. But, like, you can watch games. They're available to watch. Sometimes MLB makes it difficult to watch the team you want to watch. If you live in, North Carolina, they're going to block out the Cincinnati Reds for no apparent reason.
I'm watching my first Orioles game tonight. So,
but You have games on ESPN. You have games on TBS. You have games on MLB Network if you have it. You
I've
have
been
now
watching Mets every night.
free games on Roku. MLB TV ain't that expensive when you break it down how much entertainment you get for 6 months. It's a lot cheaper than some of the other bullshit people
Right.
spend money on. It's so easy to watch baseball. Like,
Honey, cancel my tux right up. That was a good one, Eric. Eric will come riding in on his bicycle and crash around the last turn. Dom, he agrees with you. I'm a Sox fan, so while I wish he signed in San Francisco's undoubtedly incredible to watch.
I was glad to see him end up back in New York. I mean, it's always exciting in the moment when guys sign with a new team, but that's one thing I don't love about today's modern game is I would like to see, I get you want some movement and stuff, you want that drama, but we got to have a few more guys, play that full career. It's cool when a guy like Jeter is always a Yankee and a few select other guys. Obviously nowadays, I mean, you have a guy like Juan Soto who, if he goes to the highest bidder next year, might end up on his fourth team in,
Right.
4 years or something like.
Yeah. So Brad, the Hall of Fame game is in 4 weeks? Because they moved the National up a week, right, this year. I was trying to figure that out the other day at work. I work with a lot of football nuts, so I stay up on the football. Yeah, touching on the National, the road to the National. That's what the series is tonight. It's about friendships and what you do. And I am one that can tell you I went 3-4 years by myself. And if you do go, I can tell you one thing. Everybody there is your friend because all of you are like-minded. Even when you're walking around by yourself, you can walk up to a table and you're going to start. I mean, depends on what you're wearing, what you're looking at. You're going to have his Mike beating his cat.
He's got to oil that door.
Yeah. Well, there, but like this year, it's more every year we're independently getting more and more organized. So Wednesday night, you have the first night is 3:30 to 8:30 is the kickoff show.
Yeah.
And pretty much you're going to say hi to everybody. You're going to try to look at things. But I know last year you kept running into people and you standing around talking. Thursday night, go ahead, Mike.
No, I was just going to say that first night goes really fast because there's usually
Right.
a bit of a line to get in. And like you said, you're going to run it. I mean, if you're an active member of YouTube, you're going to run into a bunch of people. Like, I think if you can get over there, it's a great idea to get over just to even, especially if it's your first time, just to get the wow factor lowered a little bit, just to see stuff because you're going to be overwhelmed. Like, holy Lord, this is the biggest show I've been to. So it's definitely cool, and you might find some good deals. And obviously, if you're looking for really rare stuff, it's a good opportunity to get first crack at it. But
right. Yeah.
obviously, there's traveling. A lot of people get in late. I know a couple years ago in Chicago, went over to a Cubs game and stuff. So if you're doing, trying to see games, I'm pretty sure Cleveland is out of town for this national, unless you get there.
Tuesday, they're in town.
So if you get there Tuesday, you can go to a Guardians game. So
Tuesday is day 0.
I don't know if there's going to be a lot of. I guess if you have a dealer pass, you can get in. But I think they cut out a lot of people from the Tuesday.
Yeah, I think they're going to be very strict this year. The way
I think you could get. I think with a media pass, you could get in Tuesday in the past, but now it's just Wednesday. But I could be mistaken on that. I've never gone Tuesday, so.
Atlantic City, I just walked in a back door with somebody. They're like, "Hey, come with me," and I got in on Wednesday morning, so I was walking around with everybody else in there.
Great security at the National.
Yeah, they got all the security in the world in Atlantic City. I just walked right in.
Well, if Garrett's still on the feed here, he'll know about Tuesday for sure because he'll know what Mike's doing. BBC. So.
Baseball collectors got all the connections.
Yeah.
The connections in all 50 states. I'm shocked I haven't seen them chasing cardboard in the Arctic or something yet.
Jason, like Alaska.
Wednesday night is the get together at the American Legion Hall. How classic is
That's
that?
Thursday, isn't it?
That's Thursday.
Oh yeah, that's Thursday. I mean, Wednesday is that.
Don't you get the date wrong for for the pizza party?
Pizza party at the American Legion Hall with beers. I mean, we couldn't make that up. That is red-blooded American as it gets right there. That's pretty awesome to me. I don't know why it tickles my funny bone, but it does. And then Friday night, go ahead, Mike. That's your night.
Friday night, yeah, I don't put me on the spot. I don't have the details in front of me, but Friday night will be another hangout. YouTube, I'm sure there'll be people from all over the place as well. Presented by apparently Filmington, who, very popular in the community for sure. Ed's boy. Ed used to be on his channel all the time, pumping up Gleyber Torres cards and such. And then you've got
that's a fucking lie.
You got Silver Jackify, who obviously Silver Jackify, he's put out so many videos over the years. And I remember he was definitely before, he would have videos that would pop like 10,000 views before the 2020 craze. I remember meeting him for the first time at the show in New York. What was that show, Ed? We went with Bob.
White Plains,
the White Plains show. And then myself as well. So that'll be fun. That's one's in downtown Cleveland. I believe it's on a rooftop. So it'll be a good mix. There'll be a lot of people. There's a few high rollers that roll into that one too. So they bring some cards that are pretty nice to take a look at.
Yeah. See you, Gary. Mike, Canadian Cards, you better have our boy Joe strapped to the fender or something when you're coming in Tuesday. My plan is Tuesday to go to Canton. I got to go right through Canton to get there. I don't see why that'll change unless something happens. As of right now, that's my plan. It's Tuesday to go to Canton, check out the Football Hall of Fame, and then head up Tuesday night to Cleveland. Group of us is doing Canton Thursday. That's Eloy. Thank you for just strap him to the hood, Joe or Mike. That's all we ask. He's a small fella. He can fit glove compartment, whatever.
Sneak that fella over the border.
Yeah, sneak him in. And we appreciate
you. You really have to sneak him in?
No, he's good. So that's a lot of things in Cleveland. I mean, the city itself is not bad. It's a lot of, I mean, that's a high, mark to hit. Not bad.
I would say,
I've been there
obviously
before.
Any big city, be aware of your surroundings in certain areas.
I mean, you got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They got some of the best bowling alleys ever in Cleveland. I did a bar crawl, and half of the bars was in a bowling alley, and I didn't even know the bowling alley was there until one of my friends from Cleveland goes, "Hey, come here," and you go back in the back, and it's this full blown bowling alley with this full bar in the front. It's amazing. I was just.
If anyone goes to the National and you're a big fan of The Christmas Story, the house they used for filming that movie, they got to turn that into a little museum, so you can check that out.
Yeah, so you got things to do outside of that, and then there's another show after the show, which I'm probably going.
And then there's a trade night during or after the after show, and then there's hangouts, and then there'll be trade nights in hotels. Literally 24 hours of cards. There's
trade night. So the show, the Nationals, actually doing 3 nights of trade nights this year, and then the after show is saying they're having space for trade nights. So I don't know how much trading is going to be going on over there. What's up, Mookie? Be sure to drink your Ovaltine. That's right. That's hilarious. Yep, was thinking about the house. Yeah, Eloy. I will have so next week will be Garrett on here. And we'll be picking his brain on picking up in-person autos and things like that. I'm going to be 2 weeks after that. Hopefully Ed will be here because this will be the most important night. We're going to have Scott from Reindeer Studios on telling us where all the hot eating spots are around there. So I need Ed here to take notes.
I will be taking copious notes. But the last time I was in Cleveland, the only thing I saw was an Applebee's.
So I have been scouting the area around where we're staying, so I think I might have some spots for us, but that's okay. Falsey, what's up? You can actually
We got to
everybody.
see if Eliteco's going. See if we can go. Dave, maybe we can go crash another party or wedding party or whatever. I don't remember what happened. Next thing I know, we're in some freaking random party in hotel rooms.
Yeah,
what
they
the
had
hell
that.
is going on?
Yeah, they had that wedding party at the bar we were all at, and then all of a sudden we're in some room with a bunch of people drinking their beer, and these two drunk chicks are dancing, and Fabian's playing some air drums, and it was a fun time.
Next thing you know, it's 3 a.m. We're breaking packs of Topps Archives. Fabian's getting crushed with the Tony Womack autograph. Like, good times, good times.
Yeah. I think we're staying in Millburg. Millburg, I think is the name of the town we're staying in. But we're literally like 14 minutes from the IX Center. I think I said last week we're 9 minutes from Filmington's roof party and 6 or 7 minutes from the American Legion Hall.
I think we're like 10 minutes from the show, and then 15 or 16 from the party for Filmington.
Okay.
I think we're closer to the show.
Okay, I might have had it back. I know we're not far from anywhere.
Yeah.
So pretty good job of Fabian getting us this house. Hopefully we'll have him on at least the night before the last Sunday night. I plan on having the whole house on here, including Joe. There you go, Brad.
Got to get BBC on for a few minutes one of these weeks to promote his pizza party.
Yeah, I mean, if he wants to come on. He's been on every year. Every year I've done the Road to the National. He's been part of it.
A hobby tradition. You got to have him on.
The BBC. Yeah. I am planning on, spreading my wings and having more and more friends and getting to know people I've met in the past even better. So that kind of wraps up my friendship tour tonight. I didn't want to get too mushy on this, but I've been trying to have some type of point to all of this. And it seems like when you ask anybody, hey, what is your most important thing when you go to the National? And the first thing is always, well, hanging out with friends, meeting people I haven't seen in a year. Might talk to them every day, but I haven't seen them face to face. And you get the old, and when you meet people for the first time, you get the old, it's been like I've always known you. So, it's a special time. I know it's not for everyone. I know not everyone can make it for different reasons, and it's understandable. Or you just don't want to go, and that's understandable too. But man, it's a great time. I enjoy it, and it's been better. Last year was awesome. I don't care how small Airbnb was, where I had to go to use the bathroom. All that didn't matter. It was fun. I couldn't walk halfway, but it didn't matter. I had fun.
Well, that was
you got to spend 26 hours in a car with Mike O. I mean,
that's right.
How much worse could it get?
What do you say, Ed?
I said that was all because of Big Chicken.
Big Chicken. I love Big Chicken. I can't wait to go back to Chicago just for Big Chicken. Yeah. That's right, Eloy.
I want to buy a Shaq rookie card because of Big Chicken.
Well, good for you. It's post-pandemic. You probably get one for like $4 again.
Yeah. So, guys, I want to end it on that tonight. I'm glad that we could all come together and have a good time, laugh and joke and have fun. And that's what this hobby is all about. To collect what you enjoy what you collect. And as Ed says, be amongst it. watch the games. Any other cliches we want to put out there?
Yeah. Stop engaging in cardboard tribalism.
Yeah. Embrace what we don't know, right? I just I'm with you. And
Love the hobby, people. Baseball cards forever, SA.
yeah.
Borrowed
and
that one from a famous YouTuber.
Yeah, and love everybody in this hobby. We're all for one, and I love the fact that this hobby blew up for whatever reason during COVID, and before COVID came mainstream. We came out of the shadows. We no longer have to hide in our basements, and I think that what contributed to this YouTube blow up because it kind of has some coolness to it. So with that, bid you adieu, and I will see you next week. And check out me and my dad tomorrow, 8:00 a.m. releasing our video for this week. Another great passed away this week, and we will be talking about him as well. And till then, see ya.
Peace.
See ya.